I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic
for which it stands,
one
nation, under
God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, would you please join me in the four-way test? Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Go ahead and be seated. Mr. David Erdley.
Good afternoon, Rotarians. As we pray, as we think about the shooting in Atlanta, as we think about the need for just equity and understanding around our community, around our nation, and around our world, I want to use the prayer of St. Francis as our prayer this morning. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Amen.
Thanks, David. That prayer, it almost sounded like you were a preacher. Mr. Jeff Whitney.
Thank you, President Ron. Good afternoon. Welcome to the greatest club on earth. We have one guest online, Chris Entine. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. E-T-E-N. I actually got all the letters on this time. Sometimes I only get the first 3 or 4. So welcome all to Rochester Rotary.
Thanks, Jeff. Where is, go ahead, who was our 15th? Bill? Last name? Bill Wagner was our 15th sign-in. Do we have any happy bucks? Any online? Oh, wait a minute. We got one here.
I've known this for 2 months, and I really wanted to say this to everybody here. I'm happy to announce that Don and Ann Rydell have become Arch Pump Society members, and it's now being talked about openly. There's going to be a thing for them from the Troy Rotary Club that you may hear about soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Jay. Anybody else? Remember birthdays. William Gross, today. Vito Pompanalo, March 27th, and Elena Campbell, March 28th. No club anniversaries today. Ernie Schaefer. You got something to talk to us about Paul Harris? Or do you have to give one?
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Actually, I want to do a couple things here. First of all, I want to give you an update. As you all are aware, we've kind of made this month our foundation month in the club. And it's my pleasure to report that we've received some results. We've had 3 Paul Harrises. People sign up for Paul Harrises during the month. So the month's not over. We got plenty of time to respond. As a matter of fact, if you're a week late and go into next month, we don't really care about that. But seriously, we would like you to consider that. We have today an excellent speaker that kind of caps off our month, speaking on the foundation. So, you know, now's the time. come forward and help us support the Rotary Foundation. Now with that, it's my distinct pleasure today to hand out a Paul Harris Award. As you all know, Paul Harris was the founder of Rotary, and in the service above self, the club or the national has made the Paul Harris Award one of the most prestigious awards in our organization. So today I'd like Jerry Carvey to come forward. Jerry is receiving today his 9th, that's 9, you can still count that on your 2 hands, but not, a little bit further and you won't be able to do that. So Jerry's receiving his 9th Paul Harris. And I certainly want to congratulate you, Jerry. That's really an outstanding achievement. You become a major donor when you get to 10, so Jerry doesn't have very far to go. So congratulations, Jerry. And on behalf of this club, Rotary International, I will thank you for your contribution. And certainly this demonstrates our motto of service of us. So congratulations. Let's give Jerry a stand. Well, just to close up here, someone told me a little rumor that everyone got a little bump in their checking account last week or this week, or they got a check in the mail. I'm not sure if that's true, but it is a rumor. And I guess I would ask you to maybe consider the foundation. Obviously, a small part of that going to the foundation would be something. As a matter of fact, one of the Paul Harrises that we did get signed up this week told me that was the reason he was doing it. So think about that. And let's kind of close off with the rest of the month with some strong support for the club, for the foundation. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.
Trying to think of what we're missing here. Rotarian of the Week. Is Shirley on?
I am. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
You hear?
Yeah.
Okay. So every year since I have belonged to this club, which is 19 years, I have served on the golf outing committee in some capacity as either a member, the chairman, the co-chairman. So today I am very excited to be passing the torch to a person that I know is going to do a great job for our outing, with all my thanks and best wishes. And that person is Ethan Hoffman.
Congratulations, Ethan. He's already doing a pretty doggone good job.
Yep.
We got about 5 or 6 different places we may do the golf outing at. That's pretty cool. Rotary Park, the Rotary Park garage sale is coming up May 1st. Basically, we're hoping to have a holding area at the park to get a pod. And Mary Lee, it's probably going to be around $250 for a pod. And she's willing to sponsor half of it if we can get another sponsor to help pay for the pod. Linda Eastman. Is my secretary taking care of that? That's great. She's also taking some notes. Do we have, one of the things we're going to do next week, we're going to bring for the next few weeks, one item we're going to auction off here for the Rotary Park. And we're looking to find out if anyone has any donations that we can sell at the Rotary Park. Do I have anybody out there? Let me tell you a little bit about what we got so far. I can find it. We have a this is a bunch of stuff from Bill Ebinger, a hammock, a basketball hoop, an 18-foot aluminum ladder, a 12-foot wood ladder, a lawnmower, an antique bassinet, a kid's antique bed, and an wrought iron plant holder. So anybody got any ideas of things they can donate? Raise your hand. Go. What you got?
One of those lawnmower kind of weed whacker, giant weed whacker.
Giant weed whacker from Carrie Riggs. A power washer. Linda? Oh, you got a garage full of stuff.
My mother's apartment, all kinds of home goods.
Okay. What we're going to do is if we get the pod, which I figure we're going to, we'll station that at the park. And then if anyone has a lot of stuff to donate, I've got a couple of people. In fact, Linda was one of them. I've got a big, it's 8 by 18 foot dump trailer. I can bring over, load up, bring over, and we can put stuff in the pod, and I can fill that up and stage it at my house until the next morning, 6 o'clock. We can start picking stuff up Thursday and Friday before May 1st.
Say what things you don't want.
We don't want books. We don't want old computer stuff. What else? No clothes. So tools are really good sale item. And like, there was a whole list of stuff. Like I said, the Bill Evinger is.
Hey, Ron, just if somebody has some stuff to pick up, either Ron or myself will be more than happy to do it. We're trying to figure out how to do this strategically so that we can set the event up that morning. So we're talking about a pod. We're not sure we can have a pod there, but we're going to check on it. And if we can, we'll have some drop-off times during the week. We can bring stuff and we'll put it in a drop-box that we have. Ask your neighbors if they have anything they want to contribute. But we're counting on the Rotarians to donate stuff for the park. We're not going to the community, we're going just to the Rotarians. So everybody, I'm sure everybody has something at home that they've been moving for the last 10 years. You want to get rid of it, this is the time to do it. So, thank you very much. Either let Ron know or myself. We'll pick it up.
Thanks, Bill. If you didn't get that on Zoom, if you have anything that needs to be picked up, either Bill or myself can pick it up. We're going to be picking it up like Thursday or Friday before May 1st, Saturday. Park cleanup, April 17th, Saturday from 9 to 11. The board will be passed around. Bill's passing that around.
Great time for new Rotarians to get involved with Rotary. It's a quick fix for us, and then we get to know you. Bill, I'd like you to be there if you could. I don't know you, and if that Saturday works out, hey, please join us. Bring a rake. We're going to try to have some mulch put down, so we'll have about 5 or 6 yards of mulch. We need to clean up the leaves that are there first, and put the mulch down. I'll get you out of there by 11 o'clock. Bring a rake. If you have a wheelbarrow, bring that also. So I'm going to send this around, and please sign up. There's a couple people that dropped out already, so we'll help us. There you go, Mr. Mayor. I'll let you start now.
Yeah, Bill was just talking about it being April 17th, Saturday. Bring a rake. We're only going to rake, a shovel, a wheelbarrow if you got it. We're only going to be there a couple hours, from 9 to about 11. All right, now it's my pleasure. We haven't done this in a while. Mr. Don Hobley, would you come up here? I didn't recognize when he walked in, he had sunglasses on. Look at this guy. Woo!
Once a year.
Don Hobley, You have been chosen to membership in the Rochester Rotary Club because you manifest those qualities of head and heart needed to serve Rotary and impart the message of Rotary to those with whom you come in contact. I charge you to judge yourself by the four-way test and the things you think, say, or do. I wish to impress upon you that you are being admitted not only to the Rochester Rotary Club, but also to a worldwide association of individuals dedicated to the Rotary motto of service above self. By virtue of your membership in this club, you will be welcome into the fellowship of any Rotary club in the world. I can attest to this. I've gone all over the country, especially down in Florida. In fact, I ran into Shirley Goldbank down there. The honor and privilege of Rotary membership carries with it duties and obligations. You will be expected to attend the club's meetings regularly, actively participate in club service, and offer your knowledge, talents, and energy to the club in its efforts to serve our community. I now ask all Rotarians and guests, please rise. Don, on behalf of the members of the club, I formally admit you to the membership into the Rochester Rotary Club. Fellow Rotarians, I commend to you our newest member, Don Hobley, and charge all of you to welcome him and to engage him in our projects, fun, and fellowship. Let's all give him a warm welcome.
I'm Hobley. I'm a native Michigander, although we moved to Baltimore, and that's where I spent my high school and college years. In Baltimore, it's much like Grosse Pointe. They don't believe in socks. So I had to stay true to those rules. I'm very humbled to be able to join the organization. It's something I actually started to investigate last year right before COVID. And I possibly have set the record for the Rochester Chamber or the Rochester Rotary for the most visits before joining. And I apologize for that. I will make up with as much good deeds as I can do. Thanks again. I really appreciate it.
Wait a minute. What do you do, Don, for a living?
Okay. I own DJ. I'm Don Jr. I own DJ window cleaning and do a lot of work with members of Chamber and some members of the Rotary already around town. And would be more than happy to give anyone estimates or quotes. We do commercial and residential. And it's been neat. I've been able to expand and during the summer, hire my son, his fraternity brothers, other college kids. And fortunately or unfortunately, it looks like I might have to hire about 15 or 20 this summer with the amount of projects we have coming up. So It's real exciting. Yeah.
Good.
Thanks again, and I really appreciate the opportunity to get to meet all of you at some point. Thank you.
I met Don through the chamber a few years ago, and kept talking to him. He's got to join Rotary, and actually, he's taking care of my own house windows for the last 2-3 years now. He does a good job. All right, it's not Tim Duncan, but Jay Eastman. You want to come and introduce our guest or our speaker? Oh, wait a minute. You're going to have to wait. All right. We forgot our sheriff, which happens to be Brian Barnett. Barnett, the bearded bandit.
Rodney Dangerfield moment there. Yeah. And this camera angle is terrible right here. Good afternoon. Thank you for the 7 of you that responded. It's hard to say who's online. I can't tell who's on. I try to go back and see who's online. So good afternoon to everybody who's online too. Couple things today. I'll try and be quick because apparently we can't get through the sheriff's stuff quick enough. First of all, I noted a few things today when Dave was praying. Of course, the prayer of St. Francis, which talks about, where there's darkness, let there be light, where there's this, or it should be that. I noticed Stu kind of whispered at our table, where there is chicken, let there be dessert. So I thought, I don't know if that's actually part of the prayer, but I think there are cookies over there if you're interested. So No, very little of this is true. Just so we're all up front. Jay Eastman had a really interesting Happy Buck where he announced that. What did you say? Yeah, thank you. That a couple got some super secret award recognition level thing that clearly no one knew what that was, because no one knew if we were supposed to clap or if they had passed or like what the story was. So I assume that was good news. Was that good? All right, well, let's clap a belated applause for that. Bill Ebinger, I thought this was really great. Wanting to do some work for the park, looked right over and said, "I don't know you." So I'm gonna try the same thing. Don, I don't know you. If you could bring a rake and meet me at my house, I'll have you out by 11. We just do a little light cleaning, a little bit of yard work. It worked for Bill, so I figured I'd try it here as well. Jerry Carvey. Where's Jerry? I haven't seen Jerry in a long time. It's nice to finally see you getting involved in the community. Just to show you, it's never too late to finally step up and get involved in something in your community. Well, March is here. Actually, we're getting through it pretty quickly. And March is a saying, if you remember when you were a kid in school, March comes in and goes out like a sort of like every NFL season that we have here in Detroit. The Ides of March were March 15th. Of course, that's notorious for the assassination of Julius Caesar, which of course was done by some of his colleagues. So David Walker, it's a $5 fine for you. I just want to point out my city council members here, just so staff look in this direction over here. St. Patrick's Day is here. How many of you went out for St. Patrick's Day or celebrated in some form or fashion? Okay. How many of you are Irish? How many of you are, but you just don't want to admit it? Okay. If you wore something green on St. Patty's Day, it's $5. By the way, all these things are $5. Just put out $5 and just let me talk and pretend like you care about any of this. If you drank something green, it's $5. If you threw up something green, it's $5. If you have any green in your wallet, it's $5. If you have any green blood, if you're Irish in any way, it's $5. If you've had a Shamrock Shake from McDonald's, I usually have one a year, kind of traditionally, it's $5. If you said that you're Irish, but it was just to get a kiss on St. Patty's Day, it's a $5 Phil Loman fine. So the weather's getting better, of course. Some of you mentioned that. If you've already golfed, any golfers already hit the links this year? Nobody? Our course was packed yesterday. We had over 200 golfers on Pine Trace yesterday. If you've golfed, it's $5. If you haven't, it's $5. Let's see what I did there. If you've walked outside, it's $5. If you're still in Florida, surely go, Frank. It's just because it's not 70 here. We got the low 60s or mid 60s. It's $200 for you, Shirley. If you've been to Innovation Hills this year, anybody been to Innovation Hills? Maggie. All right. Okay. Brent, 2 people. All right. It's no fine for you, but $100 for everybody who hasn't been there. It's also obviously kind of a bittersweet thing, but it's been 1 year since we started with COVID. So if you haven't seen the Tiger King, anybody not see the Tiger King? A couple people. All right. Well, if you haven't seen the Tiger King, it's $5. If you have visited a local restaurant, thank you. We appreciate that. On behalf of our small businesses, high five, Maggie. It's $5. If you are still hoarding toilet paper and you know who you are, $5. If you miss concerts, ball games, grandkids, and hugs, it's $5. That would get just about everybody. Tigers starting a week or so. Excited about that. How many of you think the Tigers will win the World Series? A fool and his money are soon departed. Gary, $10 for you. If you're excited that now the governor has allowed us to stay out to 11, but you know that you haven't stayed out past 9 in the last 10 years. $5. If you're happy that we are now meeting in a place that you can rent a room and nap immediately after lunch, it's $5. This morning, it was the first time I was in a classroom. I've been doing a lot of March's Reading Month things for the schools, but most of them have been Zoom. Today, I was in a classroom for the first time. It was nice to be back with students. And obviously, March is Reading Month. And a couple of the Rotarians I asked before I came up here if you've been reading, and a few folks said that you were reading some books. I thought I'd share with you some of the other Rotarians are reading. Of course, David Early's back reading the Bible. That's good. Appreciate that. Good to be back in the Word there, David. John Gaber, of course, reading the dictionary. Guy's smart. Jay and Linda Eastman are reading at the same time Romeo and Juliet. Phil Lohman is reading Moby Dick. I don't know what that means. Let you make your own joke. Ron DeLito is reading Tequila Mockingbird, but that's not actually what it's called. Not sure how far you're reading that. Stu Signer is reading The Perks of Being a Wallflower. He's such a quiet guy. Gone with the Wind is Vito Pampelona. Obviously, he was recognized today, but we haven't seen him in like 4 years. Real Estate for Dummies, Tom Nouveau. But that was an interesting book, Tom. Once a Rotarian, Always a Rotarian. That's actually a real book. Jerry Carvey reading that one. Probably have already read that one, I'm imagining. Thank You for Being Late, An Optimist Guide to Thriving in the Age of Accelerations. Of course, David Archibald hasn't started it yet, but eventually he probably will. Go Dog Go, Bill Ebinger. Go Tooth Go, Tate Bowe. Two other books that they are reading. And anyone else who's ever read a book, obviously I feel like the Grim Reaper, like ready to hook me here any second. Like, okay, it's time for the real show. If you haven't put down $5, put down $5. And if you're not watching us, if you're not here with us, it's at least 10. It all goes to charity, and what doesn't go to charity, Stu and I split. So be generous. Thanks.
Hearing those people get back. He didn't even find me for not calling him up. Okay. Jay Eastman, you want to introduce our speaker for today?
I do, Ron. One of the advantages of being short is I show up at least this way, I want to introduce Chris Etienne today. Chris joined Rotary in 1990. And she's a member of the Rotary Club of Petoskey in District 6290. She has served Rotary in many ways, many levels, as a club president, district governor, district membership chair, district foundation chair. She currently is district peace fellowship chair, and she has been zone lead trainer and institute chair, and has served Rotary International as a trainer leader, residence representative, Rotary coordinator, and on the convention promotions committee for both the Sao Paulo convention and the Hamburg convention. She is currently regional Rotary Foundation coordinator for Zone 28 and a lead facilitator for the Regional Leader Training Institute for 2021. Chris is passionate about the work of the Rotary Foundation and has participated in national immunization days for polio in India and Nigeria. Her work has been recognized on multiple occasions, most recently by her receiving the Rotary Foundation Distinguished Service Award. Chris and her husband, Dennis Linderman, are major donors and members of the Bequest Society of Rotary International. In business, Chris is an associate broker for the Harbor Sotheby's International Realty and director of leasing for the Village of Bay Harbor, a resort community located on the shores of Lake Michigan. Please give an enthusiastic Rochester Rotary welcome for Chris Etienne.
Thank you, Jay. So great to be here and see everybody. Jay, I really appreciate the invitation. I thought you were supposed to be here today. So it's a surprise to see you. I'm going to share my screen. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you again. It's really a pleasure to be with you today to share about our organization and some personal stories about our Rotary Foundation. First of all, I want to thank you for celebrating the foundation this month. And Congratulations and thank you for New Paul Harris Fellows and to all of you who support the Rotary Foundation. I wanted to start by sharing our Rotary vision statement. Rotary International had a strategic planning committee that was put together several years ago, made up of Rotary leaders from around the globe, and in 2018 they finalized our new vision statement. A world where people unite and action to create lasting change in our communities and in ourselves. I think it's a really powerful message, and it really speaks to our organization and how we celebrate our motto of service above self around the world. Here's an analogy for you. If Rotary were a ship approaching land, our new vision statement would be the lighthouse that keeps us from running aground. Our vision statement explains what we want to achieve in the same way that our mission statement is our focus, and our strategic plan represents how we're going to get there. More than a century ago, our organization pioneered a new model of service leadership, grounded in person-to-person connection. Today, those connections are a network that spans our globe, bridging cultural, linguistic, generational, and geographic barriers, and shares the vision of a better world. As Rotarians, we are people of action, and we understand that fulfilling that vision requires a plan. This is our Rotary Action Plan through 2024 to increase our impact, expand our reach, enhance participant engagement, and increase our ability to adapt. Next, I want to share the mission of our Rotary Foundation, which is to enable Rotary members to advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace through the improvement of health, the support of education, and the alleviation of poverty. Our foundation is a nonprofit corporation supported solely by voluntary contributions from Rotary members and friends of the foundation who share its vision of a better world. This support is essential to make possible projects funded with foundation grants that bring sustainable improvement to communities in need. I'm also excited to share with you today, for those of you that are familiar with Charity Navigator, the Rotary Foundation has been rated 4 stars, which is the maximum rating, for 12 consecutive years. Charity Navigator is a guide to intelligent giving. It's the largest evaluator of charities focused on 2 primary areas: financial health and accountability and transparency. We have several ways to contribute to our Rotary Foundation. The annual fund is what we talk about when you hear about E-Ray, E-R-E-Y, which is every Rotarian every year. It is our goal that every Rotarian support the Rotary Foundation in a way that they can. And there's so many ways to do that. You can do that with an outright gift. You can also use Rotary Direct, which is what I do, and sign up electronically to be able to make your donation. You can choose the amount and you can choose how often, monthly, quarterly, or yearly. We also ask our Rotarians to support the Polio Plus Fund. Polio Plus is obviously the funding that is used to be able to support our eradication of polio worldwide, the mobilization of the vaccine and the vaccine itself. We need to continue to finish the job. And it's exciting that polio will only be the 2nd disease next to smallpox ever to be eradicated from the world. We also have major gifts. As was mentioned today, once you reach $10,000, you can become a major donor. There are various major donor levels, level 1, level 2, all the way up to Arch Pump Society, which you know, our Jay Eastman is an Arch Pump Society member. And as he announced today, Don and Ann Rydell are our newest Arch Pump Society members in District 6380. Grant participation. Obviously, our donations to the annual fund is where the money comes from in order to support district and local grants. So it's very important that we continue to support the annual fund, because that is where the money comes from to support the grants that we do around the world. And we also have a separate fund for the Rotary Peace Centers. And these are for master's level degree peace and conflict resolutions. There are 7 universities around the world There's a 2-year master's degree program, and there's also a 90-day professional certificate program. I talked a little bit about the grants. District grants are those smaller international projects or local projects that you can do right in your own community. Global grants are our larger projects, the projects that we really focus on sustainability. They're a minimum of $30,000 grant and include an international partner somewhere around the world. We really continue to focus on partnerships in Rotary, not just through our work in the foundation, but I'm sure you're familiar with our partnerships like Shelter Box, USAID, UNICEF. But we also have Rotary partnerships outside of the foundation, like the recent partnership we established with Toastmasters. This will help elevate the exposure of our organization and a great organization for us to align with. And we have our areas of focus. These are the 6 areas where we focus on international projects. And I'm excited that we are introducing the 7th area of focus, the environment, which will become official on July 1st. Here is now a short video on our areas of focus. So obviously this past year has been interesting, challenging, and unprecedented for all of us with COVID-19. We should be very proud, though, that our Rotary Foundation leadership, our trustees, stepped up to the plate quickly so that Rotary could be instrumental in supporting our communities with the challenges of COVID-19. They rolled out a program where every district in the world had the opportunity to apply for a $25,000 grant to help support the work of immunizing and assisting people in our communities. The chair of our Rotary Foundation, Ravi Ravindran from Sri Lanka, said this: "The COVID-19 pandemic seemed like a situation that might overwhelm the Rotary Foundation, but as things have progressed, we have not allowed it to do so. We have funded 208 disaster response grants for $5.2 million and 169 new global grants at $13.8 million, all in 3 months. We never allowed the pandemic to overcome us. Indeed, history shows that Rotarians are a curious breed. We are visionaries, an idealistic lot that dreams big dreams of a better world." As Jay mentioned, I've had the opportunity to travel abroad to help with the immunizations for polio eradication worldwide, both in India and my most recent trip in 2015 to Nigeria. This is truly our legacy of our Rotary Foundation. We're so fortunate to have as our partners the World Health Organization, the Center for Disease Control, UNICEF, and of course the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And that foundation continues to match 2 to 1 up to $50 million every year, every donation that we provide to Polio Plus. The partnership with the Gates Foundation certainly makes our organization extremely credible around the globe. You know, there are close to 19 million people walking today because of our efforts to immunize children around the world. I had, as a participant in a National Immunization Day, I was so grateful to have the opportunity to be a part of this amazing feat. We started with 350,000 cases per year in the mid 1980s when we started this initiative. The total number of wild polio cases in 2020 was only 140. And year to date, as of March 10th of this year, there have only been 2, one in Pakistan and one in Afghanistan.
This is a story of historic progress, a story that doesn't exist without you. Our unifying effort in 3 decades of action demonstrates our commitment and endurance. And our progress thus far shows that a polio-free world is achievable. Individuals, clubs, partners, and governments share a collective vision to improve the health of every single child. We've eliminated polio in some of the most difficult places, overcoming obstacles and navigating complex issues. Our successes prove that polio will be eradicated, and while ending a global disease is not easy, as Rotary, we don't give up. We'll continue our fight until each child is protected. This isn't possible without you. So stay involved, keep pushing forward, engage your clubs and communities, start a social media conversation, and increase visibility on the importance of this global effort. Hold events and fundraisers on World Polio Day and throughout the year. Advocate to governments about the importance of supporting polio eradication. Make a contribution and invest in one of the largest health initiatives ever. Be a character in our story. Be the solution to our challenge. It's because of each and every one of you that we will improve our future by making polio a disease of the past. Eradication is possible. So let's keep our promise.
I now want to share a story with you that has touched my life significantly with regard to the Rotary Foundation. One of the programs that we have the opportunity to participate in is the support of a global scholar or a Rotary scholar. When I was district governor in 2007 and 2008, my classmate Pam Harkema from District 6310, which includes Mount Pleasant and the home of Central Michigan University, introduced me to a Rotary scholar from Afghanistan that was studying at Central Michigan University. And I thought that was interesting because District 6290, my home district, we had supported many Rotary scholars over the years as outbound scholars, but we had never supported or hosted an inbound scholar in our district. So I inquired about this and got in touch with a past governor who is now a past trustee of our Rotary Foundation, Steve Brown from La Jolla, California. And you may have read about Steve and Ferry Moini, who are from the Rotary Club from La Jolla. And they have been doing projects and programs in Afghanistan for many years. So I reached out to Steve and said that our district would be very interested in supporting an inbound scholar, and how would we go about that? So he explained to me that the scholars from Afghanistan that they were working with were trying to get a degree in TESOL, which is teaching English to speakers of other languages. And that these young professors were in need of obtaining that master's degree in order to receive a permanent teaching position at the university there. It's Nagahar University in Jalalabad. So Steve and Ferry Moini did the interviews for us, sent us CDs so that we could see them. And they recommended this scholar, Fazil Rabbani. So Fazil flew into Grand Rapids. He was able to apply and was accepted at Grand Valley State University, which does offer the TESOL master's program. Fazil flew into Grand Rapids in August of 2009. My husband and I picked him up at the airport. We got him settled into campus. 2 months later, he gave birth to twins. When he came to Grand Rapids in August, he left behind a wife and 4 children, and then his wife gave birth to twins 2 months later. He was supposed to finish the degree in 1 year, but he failed one class, and another class he needed wasn't going to be offered to the following year. Fazil was homesick. He wanted to return to Afghanistan, but through the support of many Rotarians and the Rotary Foundation, we were able to keep him on the second year to be able to finish his degree. He did finish his degree in July of 2011. During that second year, his mother passed away. By this time, he had been away from his family for almost 2 years. But we were so proud of him, and it was time for him to return back to Afghanistan, which became very hard for us. Fazil literally became part of our family the 2 years that he was here. He spent holidays with us, and he's too old to be my son, but I don't have children of my own, and we had that kind of relationship. We became very close. But we put him on a plane home, and he went back, and he immediately started work at the university. He's truly a believer that the answer to violence in this country is education. And his family and himself have been at risk because he's considered to be Americanized now. And it's been very scary for him. But he continues his work. Over 4,000 students have now graduated from his program. He immediately became a member of the Rotary Club of Jalalabad and served as its club president about 4 years ago. But I want to tell you that your Rotary Foundation dollars truly change lives and truly make a difference in this world. And Fazil is just one example of that work. I now would just like to share a small story, but a very impactful one of another Rotary Foundation grant. Years ago, my sister and brother-in-law were in Nepal and became friends of the Rotarians in Nepal, and wanted to adopt a small village in the outskirts of Nepal where the children literally sat on the ground in the dirt at school. So we funded a small grant to be able to put contractors to work right in the little village to build desks and chairs for these kids so that they could have a place to sit down in their school. So again, a very small grant, but very impactful for these kids. One of the things that we have the opportunity to do through the Rotary Foundation is to leave your own legacy. And you can become a member of the Bequest Society or a benefactor by designating a certain amount of money through your will or your trust or your life insurance or your securities to be able to leave a legacy when you're no longer with us on the earth. It's an easy, simple way to say, you know, I want to make a gift to the foundation and to continue to do good in the world when I'm no longer here.
You're a Leewood. You know what that means?
We work hard and we give back.
You know, someday this apple tree will be bigger than I am. We're leaving the future behind today. You'll see.
Giving to Rotary's endowment ensures life-changing programs will benefit generations to come. Your legacy is Rotary's promise.
Well, I'd like to thank you all for your time and attention today. I always love sharing the Rotary Foundation. As I mentioned, it's changed my life in so many ways over the years. And I just thoroughly am impressed with the great work we're able to do around the world through our gifts to the Rotary Foundation. So thank you so much. Great to see you all. And I'm happy to answer questions if there's time. If not, have a wonderful afternoon and hope to see you in person sometime soon.
Thank you, Chris. I really appreciate it. Any other comments or questions?
Hey, Ron.
Yes.
The club can be proud of the fact that last November it made one of the largest. The club can be proud of the fact that last November it made one of the largest contributions to the polio fund as a club than it had ever had, something in the neighborhood. I don't remember the exact number, about $2,500, which is like almost 3 or 4 times the largest contribution as a club we've ever made. So I'm wondering,
$2,500?
$2,500, $2,500, $2,500,
$25,000.
no, $2,500. That's what the club donated, okay?
Okay, the club did.
Yes, but I'm wondering, where do we stand on the annual fund, which is what we call every Rotarian every year?
That's already been voted on. We're putting that bill out this month.
Okay, all right, great, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you for your support.
Those of you who don't know what that is, Don Hobley for sure wouldn't. Every Rotarian every year, once a year, we have a bill go out for $100. With 100 people, it turns into about $10,000 going to Rotary International. So it's a good thing. And I believe if you've done it 5 years in a row, the club matches, you can get a Paul Harris, correct? Am I correct on that?
No, you can't.
You can't. Well, 10 years you can get one, or you can donate $1,000 and get a Paul Harris. All right. Any other questions, comments before we close out? Thank you, Chris.
Good.